Hello there everyone, welcome to my first upload. For my first upload, we will be trying to sculpt this little guy, a spectator from Dungeons and Dragons. We will sculpt him in Blender. It's going to be a model for 3D printing, a miniature. I actually do make 3D printable miniatures and release them on Patreon. That was my shameless plug. You're welcome. We will focus on this guy's scary gums, his horns, and his big juicy tongue. Beautiful tongue. I would love to have such a tongue. You can guess what for. For eating ice cream, of course. What else? We start with a little meatball. Cut out a hole for the eye and for the mouth with a Boolean tool. Just make a second sphere and stuff it in there. Starting with the eyelid, some basic shapes. Just like my belly is a basic shape. Round. Yes. And now we are pulling down the gums. Just select some polygons, pull them down or up. And you got yourselves a set of gums. Now a spectator needs some pretty large gums. The gums with the weird teeth, the crooked teeth, are sort of the base of its aesthetics, if you can call it aesthetic. Of course, you're very aesthetic because you just subscribed. Great move, by the way. An excellent choice. Just kidding. Oh, actually, I'm not kidding. Please subscribe. Thanks. We continue to push the mesh around a bit. Just trying to get the basic shape. Trying to have some fun doing it. Some big kissy lips. And this little square will become its tooth. Just make a monolithic structure, make it pointy and bendy, and you got yourself a tooth. Quite simple actually. Place it, copy it, and then play around with it a little bit. Give it some nice diversity. You might say we are wasting a bit of time on the teeth. We could just copy-paste them, but the teeth are very important for the look of this little guy. And also for the dentists to have an income. That was a bad joke. Please forgive me. No, actually, I'm proud of that joke. Just like I'm proud of you for liking this video, commenting and subscribing. Just kidding. Actually not. Check that. Plenty of teeth. Of course, since this model is going to be printed on a 3D printer, it also needs to be printable, so you don't want too many thin, loose parts sticking out of the mesh. If you don't have a 3D printer, you should get one. They're cheap and very fun. And we all need a little fun now, don't we? Life can be pretty tough nowadays, especially for us millennials and zoomers. Pretty harsh world for us. Previous generations grew up in a better world. More jobs, more money, better society. But at least we got 3D printers, Blender and YouTube. And it's not that much of a joke. Life can be pretty tough out there. But we have a lot of tools on our hands to make some pretty amazing stuff. Like Blender. I love this program. Oh yeah, I really do. Now we're sculpting the iris and the pupil on the eyeballs, so it's easier to paint. And there's nothing worse than a miniature with eyes painted on in a very, very bad fashion. Looks pretty ugly. We don't like ugly things here. Unless they're intentionally ugly. Like our system of governance and our governments. But that's another topic. Now we made 4 fleshy meaty sticks with a thick throbbing vein on them. Thick throbbing veins are of course a sign of vitality and virality. Everyone likes throbbing veins, but our little spectator has them written in its lore. No joke. They actually do have pretty thick veins. Just look it up. So now we put some horns on them. Some spectators are scaly, they have a lot of scales. Others have blisters and they are blistery. This one has horns. Guess how he feels? Horny. Now we make that tongue. This tongue is pretty unacceptable. Quite creepy actually. But before we give it some more texture, we're finishing the mouth a bit. Putting these nice meaty flaps on the corners of its mouth. If you know what they are called, please comment. I couldn't find it out. And now we get our bones and we bone this little guy. Put a bone in his tongue. Yes, that's nice. Very wrong. Very, very wrong. Some more bones in its head. We skull bone it. That was wrong, check that. Don't tell my mom I said that, please. Check that. Don't tell my wife, please. Now that this fellow is sufficiently boned, we play around with him a little bit. We pose its tongue to maximize pleasure. I mean pleasure of the eye because it looks so good now, right? Right. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now we are posing the eye stalks. The spectator has 4 eye stalks. Thank God. The beholder has 10. I also made a beholder. It was a pain in the ass. But I liked it. Wait, check that. Now we're putting some scaly, blistery texture on him. Just having some fun. No specific design idea. Just put them in. Turn off mirror. So we can make him a bit more asymmetrical. Makes it more interesting. Don't forget the tentacles or eye stalks, however you want to call them. Put some more horns on that guy because he's pretty horny. That didn't sound wrong, it sounded right. And now we have posed him. I cut out the posing part because it's tedious. I don't want to bore you. We just want to have some fun. Put the eyes into the eye sockets, the eyeballs. Put some texture inside its mouth. It's fun to paint. The eyes are all actually just copies of the big eye. And now the tedious part. little changes around the eyelids. Here's 5 of them. And we're ready. That's it. A pretty nice miniature. And here's the result. In this grainy, crappy mobile phone video, I made 3 remixes of the one spectator we just made. And I put also the beholder I spoke about earlier in there, and 2 other goodies. You can download all of my miniatures, link in description. One of these ones is even free, the light green one. If you want, you can support me on Patreon and also get my monthly release. But you don't have to. We had fun, and I hope you join me again with the next video. Thank you, and have a good day.